Hey guys, it's Dark Architect 18 back here with another YouTube video, and today we are doing the Hindenburg first impressions video. So yeah, it's going to be a good game. I'm going to do some breakdown of how I play the Hindenburg, my commander inspirations, and overall just how I play it and what my overall take for the ship is. So we're running Reigerwald with Gunther Lutyens. So we're doing AP damage with AP damage and reload, and working on more range, more reload, and more agility with the Hindenburg overall. So it's going to be a good match. Overall, I was pretty pleased with it. So yeah, I'm going to get straight into it. So we're sitting at 55,500 health with the Hindenburg. I believe that is just base HP overall for the Hindenburg. So you could obviously make that a little bit higher if you wanted to, but you don't have to. Honestly, I think the ship's good as is, so there isn't really a need to, in my opinion. But with my build, we have a 17.2 kilometer firing range for our main guns, 8.7 second reload with a 15% fire setting chance, 65-61 max AP shell damage. Our torpedoes are in a combination of 4x4, 533 millimeter torps, 90 second reload with our standard 6 kilometer range, 64 knot, and 13,700 maximum damage per torpedo, with our max speed being 31.5 knots and our rudder being a 9.7 second rudder, and our detectability by sea is 12.2 by sea and 7.7 kilometer by air. So detectability is definitely on the lower side of being effective for the ship overall. Definitely think it could be a little bit better, but I'm managing pretty well with this game, so I'm not doing... Actually, I think I did concealment mod for the Hindenburg. So I did... What did I do? I think I did aiming systems, steering gears, concealment, and I believe range or reload. One of the two. And that's kind of how I approach it. Is, you know, if you don't want range, you do reload, and if you're not sure based off the stats of the ship, you gotta just trial and error it, basically, to figure out what makes most sense out of it. So I was going to try to take a shot right there. Thought it was going to last a little bit longer for the Shimakaze, but he didn't, so that's okay. So we are going to move up here. We got a fire on the Schlieffen right over the mountain behind the A-cap on the opposite side. So we are going to make our way around and try to take a cap. So we got torpedoes coming inbound, so I was thinking, oh shoot, I gotta start turning. Thank gosh they they ran out right there, so I'm grateful for that. I noticed the Schlieffen is turning the other way. He is trying to book it out of there. He was like, I got too much fire in me. I am not dealing with this, not today. So notice the shell grouping for the Hindenburg is pretty solid for what it is. I mean, you could always put Norman Scott on here if you think the accuracy isn't, you know, top notch. You could do Norman Scott with Gunther Lutyens with Reigerwald, or you could do Lutyens with Mikawa with so Genichi Mikawa and Norman Scott, or some other variety of build, or maybe put Francesco Mimbelli for the reload. So you got to really think about what's worth it. I mean, you're sitting at what, a 9-second reload almost base. So I mean, your reload might get down to like 7.8, 7.6 maybe. That's a big maybe. But I would say it's probably going to sit around the lower 8 seconds. That's just kind of my thoughts with fully maxed commanders. Maybe it's a little bit lower if you put like Madden and Mimbelli and all that. So you see right there with AP, I am just like shredding this Des Moines. I know these are 8-inch guns. You know, they really do a lot of damage, and their accuracy is just crazy good. You see I'm trying to line it up with the water line a little bit higher, trying to get a little bit more damage on this Des Moines, and we finish them up right there. So, you know, that's that. You know, 59,000, 58,000 damage already to start it is a good way to go about it. So overall, I really like the Hindenburg. It's got a lot going for it. The guns are incredible. They are definitely very accurate for what they are at legendary tier. You have 4 triples, so you have 12 guns total. So 6 and 6, you know, 6 in the front. There's two triples in the front and 2 triples in the back. So overall, it's a good ship. You can definitely use the torpedoes if you get closer to the enemy, like within 6 kilometers or less. Definitely use those torpedoes on either side to take out cruisers or battleships if you're pushing up. Or if you're retreating and there's a battleship and a cruiser, you know, left and right of you, starboard or port. So yeah, you just really want to capitalize on that. And then the sonar, I believe, I think it's 5.7 on the Hindenburg, which is incredible for this type of cruiser. Obviously, it's German, so it's going to have well over 5 kilometers for the sonar, so that's kind of a given. That's not too big of a surprise, but having it close to 6 is definitely potent in the right, you know, situation. If you're pushing a smoke screen or you're pushing up on the side of the map and you're trying to figure out what's kind of going on. So anyways, we're doing a really good job with this battle. You can see I'm going to switch to AP here on this Dalian. So this is going to be a good one. So those are ricochets right there. I'm going to try to aim again. Should have them here. Nope, not quite. We will probably get them on this one. I'm trying to aim a little bit lower to the water line, because I was thinking, well, Citadel is right there, and we get them. So that was a great example of, you know, lining up your Citadel shots for that Dalian, and that was right then. And we're going to turn hard right here to get out of these torpedoes. So we got a Republic. We're going to go around. I think we're going to keep AP. We might switch to HE to get them on fire. But overall, I'm just really pleased with the Hindenburg, with the build that I got currently. I don't have another commander. I would probably put, as an inspiration, probably either Norman Scott or Nikolai Kuznetsov. Get maybe a little bit more range on my guns. I mean, 17.2 is definitely kind of short for a cruiser at this tier. I think closer to 18 is a good start, but that doesn't mean you can't play a ship with, you know, a 17-kilometer range. It means you just got to move closer to the enemy at a quicker rate and all that. So overall, we did a good job with the battle. Our teammate Frosty, so he was doing an excellent job. He had a great job taking these caps. So you were swapping back to HE. I'm going to try to get some torpedoes on this Republic, because I kind of anticipated him pushing back out. So that was smart of me to do. So we should get a couple torpedoes on him. Looks like 5 torpedoes, 2 floods, and we killed the Republic. So we're sitting great with damage right now, 146,000 damage. 4 kills. We got some citadels. We got some fires. Notice how the fires are really picking up with this ship, and I just love it. 15% fire chance is definitely, I would say, above average for, I guess, some of the legendaries. Not all of them. Like Yoshino is definitely going to be higher. If you have, an AL Atago, you're going to get that up to 35% fire chance. So I forget what Rune or not Hindenburg, Hipper's fire chance is at. It's probably closer to 10 or 12. I can't imagine it's 15, but maybe it is. That's just off the top of my head. So if somebody wants to quote me on, a number for the fire chance, be my guest. I'd definitely be curious to hear what it is stock for the Hindenburg, or not Hindenburg, the Rune and the Hipper, since those are very similar to how this plays. So if you can master those 2 ships, you can definitely master this ship. And the reload really hasn't been bothering me with an 8.7 second reload. It hasn't been bad. So hope you guys enjoyed the game. This is my first impressions for the Hindenburg. So we end up with 162,000 damage, 2,800 XP, and 356,000 silver, and quite the battle. So I hope you guys enjoy the video. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and becoming a tier 1, tier 2, or tier 3 member if you want to help the channel out, and take a look at purchasing some Ulti with the code BLUE, and that would definitely help the channel. And yeah, this is Dark Architect 18. I'm out. Hope everyone has a good day. Thanks for tuning to the video. Peace. Bye.